Hello everyone, Voodoo here. So today I wanted to go over some sims for season 4 for Havoc Demon Hunter. Now these are pretty early. Shad and myself have kind of been working on them and trying to figure out what the best thing is. I haven't done a ton of cooking with embellishments and different like slots, stuff like that. But this is a pretty good idea. Most of the stuff here is going to be fairly optimal. You're not going to get a ton more DPS out of it unless we see a ton of tuning changes. Now on that note, there have been no class changes. There have been one round of trinket changes. They've said there'll be more, so I expect this to change. So it's just an early look, and we'll probably have more videos like this in the future. But that being said, let's get on to the sims. But like I said, these are still pretty early, so don't take everything like 100% grain of salt, everything like that. You know, things probably will end up changing, but this currently is the best that I've been able to find. I believe that Shad's been able to find. I haven't spoken with him in like a day or so he might have found something better. Whatever. At most, you're probably going to gain like a few thousand DPS through further optimization, which isn't really a lot. So right now we're working around this number. I've seen some sims for like arms and dev that are at like 440,000, which is crazy. But a lot of other classes are around this area. I think Shadow is around this area, Fury Warrior, stuff like that. So, you know, nothing too crazy. Scroll down here. One of the big things you might notice is that we're actually using verse gems now, and I will touch on that. I do want to go over the stats a bit. But pretty standard stuff. We're not using gloves in this one. I have seen some sims with gloves. Again, doesn't really matter. This is with BSL, which gets very strong whenever we get this high eye level. It's a lot of free mastery. You can put those stats somewhere else. And realistically, I actually don't know how much the Thorn Boots are really going to scale too much, but we'll see. I haven't done sims with them yet with this build. I don't think it'll change too much, but you know, is what it is. Other thing are Trinkets, Whispering Incarnate Icon, and Dragonflight Bomb Dispenser are our best two right now, according to the sim. There's a bunch of other ones that are close. You can see that Signet Brand's close, Ashes is actually pretty close, which is kind of funny. And then the only other non-icon combo is Bomb Dispenser, Pocket Anvil. So if you are in a group where you don't have all three bonuses of Incarnate Icon, which a lot of the power from this is from that, then it is, you know, possible you might want to use these, but Icon is just really, really good. You're going to want one in single target. You're going to want one in cleave, AoE. Unless they nerf it again, it's just very powerful. It's so much free crit. It lets us put stats in other places. It's just so much stats. It's kind of hard to really use anything else other than that. Bomb Dispenser is good for just pure single target. I do have a D-Slice sim we can go over in a second. But again, you know, this just is a really strong on use. It's scaled so well. You get 179,000 fire damage as like a little bomb explosion. You can make it amp with crit. It gives you a ton of agility, and then whenever you critically strike 60 times, you get more bombs. And Havoc, of course, critically strikes a lot because we love crit, and all of our abilities hit multiple times, which means that we can crit multiple times. So again, that just works very, very well. Obviously, we have the Voice of the Silent Star Cloak. We have the Seal of Durin the Chosen Ring, which is just free fire damage. We have Scaleband Signet. Now, there are other rings that are very close. The one from Diurna in the first raid, that gives you like a little mastery shield, or not mastery shield, but gives you a little shield whenever you deal fire, is also really close. I think it's like 0.1, 0.2% behind, so you always could end up using that for more defensiveness. It's very hard to get a 528 Scalebane. Same with these Rot Walkers. There's lots of things that are close to this that you don't really need to get. I think the ones from Tindril are close. There's a bunch of raid boots that are close, so only 2 M+ items isn't very bad. And Storm Slash is the only other 528 M+ item. Even at 522, this is very good. However, at 522, there are better weapons, which we'll cover. So Trinkets again. Guzzler is the one I want to talk about specifically down here, because it can probably end up being very good if you get a few resets. Now, to my knowledge, there's no way to simulate a player death in these sims. But if you get a few deaths, then I think this can be very good. So you might see this pop up a lot in parses. But it is actually pretty significantly behind Bomb. It's like almost 2% behind. But if you do get, people dying often, you get a few deaths, then it can be very good. And the best M+ trinket is actually Raidhorn, which is very funny. I didn't expect that. I thought something else would be better. And you don't get another good one until you get to Mammoth scale, and you just come all the way down here. So that's it for single target. I do want to talk about weapons real quickly before we talk about the stats of that sim. So here are the weapons. So we don't fully know what level you can get double time at yet. Again, to my knowledge, I did a video about this. Not sure how hard mode works, But a 522 double time, which would be from hard mode if that's possible, it might just be Dio Salute, again, we don't know, is the same as Storm Slash and single target. And a 515 one is only 0.3% behind, and is actually the same as a max dungeon upgraded Storm Slash. Now, I didn't run it here because I didn't have it on my gear list, but a 522 Storm Lash is the one you get from dungeons. It's the max upgradable eye level there. And it's actually the same damage or a little bit less than a 515 double time. So you're going to want a double time. Even if it's 515, it's going to be very, very good for Havoc unless you can natty roll a 528 Storm Slash, which would be better in single target. In AoE though, double time does clear. So you're going to want one for cleave or AoE. It's just better than any Storm Slash. It's better than most well-statted 528 weapons. This is just very, very good. Same with Thorncaller's Claw, very strong weapon there. So finally, we want to talk about stats for this build. So open up the HTML report here, which shows a breakdown of all of the, things about the sim. We scroll on down to the bottom here, and we can look at stats. So the stats here, you might notice, aren't actually that crazy. We have like 52% crit, 16% haste, 23% verse, and then like 62% mastery, which means that we actually haven't gained a ton of crit here. And the reason for that is because of something known as stat DRs, or diminishing returns. These were added, I believe, at the end of BFA, start of Shadowlands, where whenever you hit certain breakpoints of stats, I don't know them off the top of my head, I'll throw a graphic up on the screen of them, you start to gain less total like stat percent per stat point. So we hit the point where if we start to stack more crit, we actually don't gain as much value from it because we have so much. And mastery is also at that point here in the sim. So versatility and haste actually get a lot more value. And in this sim, you see that it prioritized a lot of versatility. It has those verse gems. So very interesting stuff here. A lot of the thing with this season is going to be gear doesn't matter too much. There's a ton of combinations that are close to this. As long as you get your proc effects, like your Thorncaller's Claw, your ring, your tier set, your cloak, your trinkets, the rest of the gear doesn't matter too much because you actually don't really have that many slots. There's ways to work the neck, the whatever tier piece you don't end up using, the boots, and the other ring slot to actually end up just being pretty close to this. So a lot of the stuff this season is going to be just sim yourself often because stat DRs are going to be a thing. If you're heavy into one stat, it might affect you differently than another person. So keep that in mind. Very important to remember that going forward. All right, we're gonna head over to AoE now. So this is a D-Slice sim. I have all the buffs on, so don't worry about that too much. And also, if you're watching this, if you're still watching this, make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. We're getting close to 10,000. I think we're like 120 away, 110 away, something like that. So appreciate it, everybody. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and let's go back to D-Slice. So in D-Slice, you see that this and this are a little bit different. And of course, this is with Ragefire. You can just use the same stuff from the previous sim. I think this is 0.1% better, so don't worry about that too much. But I'm just going to make note of that. Gear, mostly the same. Only interesting thing that really changed, like I mentioned, is the double time, and then is the Ashes of the Ember Soul. So Ashes of the Ember Soul is just your best trinket. I actually don't have the trinket sim here. Maybe I can pull it up for you guys if I can find it on the side here. Let me see here. One of these dungeon slices I know has trinkets. We can just kind of look through and see if we find it. Nope, not that one. It's probably the one before that. Here we go. So this is with trinkets and stuff. So the next closest option is going to be with Guzzler, Grief Torch, which is 2% behind. So Ashes is going to be your best option. You can see here that the Charglaive is actually pretty close to double time as well, 0.5%. So I guess if you don't want to get a double time, you don't need to, but still worth to get. But anyways, so Ashes and Grief Torch, but 1.5% difference. So, nothing too crazy there. Ashes is going to be your best option. In D-Slice, it's even under simming a bit, I believe, because of just how much downtime you have between packs. Let me go back to this Dungeon Slice sim. This is with all buffs. But yeah, I mean, pretty good stuff here. I think 602,000 is pretty good. If you disable the buffs, it's at 547, 550. Depends which way you want to do it on the sim settings. Again, doesn't really matter. Same thing at the end of the day. And, verse very good, going to help you live more. Mastery also ends up being very strong here. You can see a bunch of mastery gems down here, all within basically error. So they're within so much little DPS, you can't actually tell the difference. So these slides looking good. They'll give me the same gear for the most part, and just ashes and a double time, which again, double time is still good even by itself. And then finally, I want to touch on cycle a little bit. Now, this I haven't cooked much. I've only really done 1 or 2 sims about it, so this can probably cook more, and I'll include it in a future video. But this is for cycle. So cycle is only a little bit behind the other build, behind the normal build for people that enjoy it. So very playable. Again, you're seeing that this is with toxic boots. I do want to try this with BSL, see if it gets better. And then I do need to go through the gear a little bit more and see if I can make the stats better. You see a lot of mastery here is very prioed in this sim, because I guess we just don't have much of it. I can maybe find out real quick if we look at the individual thing here. We'll see how fast that goes. We'll check back on it. But yeah, overall, Havoc seems to be an all right spot. Single target wise, we're a bit low unless we can, you know, cook something crazy that comes up. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Obviously, if something crazy comes up, I'll tell you guys. But right now, it does seem like there's a few different classes at different tiers, and Havoc seems to be kind of in the middle tier with a few other people. I haven't seen a ton of sims yet. I know some are really high. I know some are around us. I don't know if there's any lower. I don't know if there's, you know, what's in the middle there. But it should be like a fine season. If we go towards verse, our survivability will go up a lot. I think right now most people are running 10% to 12% verse, maybe a bit more, but we're going to go up to around the 20 to 23% according to these sims, which means that, you know, we will be tankier, which is very good. We'll have more HP as well. I think on PTR I had like 1.3, 1.2 million or something like that, which is a crazy number. The sim is done. Look at HTML report. And you just go down and look at the stats here for this. This one should be Prime Mastery a bit more. Yeah, I mean, it's roughly the same stats a whole way through. A little bit less verse, a little bit more haste, which isn't very surprising. Nothing too crazy here. I mean, Cycle likes more haste, but we'll see how that ends up. I'll cook that one a bit more and get another video out to you guys. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Just a quick little sim update. Builds are still the same. Didn't put a no mover in this. I guess I forgot. We'll have one another time. I'll do an updated sim video. With no mover, probably similarly, still a few percent behind, so wouldn't really read too much into that. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you're excited for season 4. We'll have more Havoc content, maybe a few other classes too. We'll see what happens. And yeah, should come out in about a month. We'll be streaming it and everything like that. And I hope you guys enjoy. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below what you're looking forward to. What trinkets do you want back? Make sure you follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and yeah, see you guys next time. Peace and happy Easter. A big thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you Sky Elk, Andrew Keenell, 100,001 Zans, Guillermo Lamas, Brad Wisniak, It's Bulk, and Magic Man 133. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel and get a few perks along the way, check the link in the description to become a channel member, or go follow me on Twitch and sub there. Again, thank you all so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.